Hello everybody, it's Vertical Sandwich. Welcome to a speed run of SteamWorld Dig. So, what I did was, after our last video, I decided to try to speedrun this game. And I've done this before for the trophy. To get all the trophies for the game, you have to get through this game in less than 2.5 hours. I believe you have to collect more than 150 orbs. And you have to get more than $20,000 and never die. So, surprisingly, I actually got this on my first attempt. I mean, if you don't count that attempt, we just reset. But I've had a lot of practice speedrunning this game for this trophy, because it took me multiple tries to get the trophy the first time I did it. And like I said, I had 2 attempts that finished 1 minute over the time. So, you know, I really had to... Now, to get this trophy, you don't have to do any of the early dynamite stuff, as far as, like, the dynamite jumps to get generators early. You can do all that stuff in time. It's the game casually to get into the bottom of Vectron and beat the boss. You can do that probably pretty comfortably in an hour and a half. The issue is going into all the caves and getting all the things and stuff like that. So the 80% speedrun of this game is ridiculously quick. But that does involve the dynamite jumps and things like that. And obviously the 80% speedrun isn't worried about its deaths. So, or its treasure amounts or anything like that. And really what happens in this run is I get down pretty early and then really struggle to get to the $20,000 mark. We blow everything else out of the water. Now, after this game, we are going to play SteamWorld Dig 2. I've already started recording it. But it should be said that there is a similar trophy for SteamWorld Dig 2, and we will go over why we're not getting that. So we won't be getting all of the trophies for SteamWorld Dig 2, but we will get them for SteamWorld Dig 1. Well, we have. It's done. I've already done it. Now, one of the things you want is you want to have your $8 for your new pickaxe before you go up to town. And you also kind of want to be over on this right-hand side here, because some of the first stuff you can't get through has citron. So that's kind of where you want to be angled. So now we can get our pickaxe. Now we can go down further. And one of the things that's going to happen here is you're going to notice us going back into the menu at certain points. And those are actually, like, what I did was the way I record video actually has a 1 hour limit for each video. And so what I did was I shot for less than that, and then I would go back to the main title screen, because the main title screen will give you playtime, so you can kind of keep track of where you're at and how much time you have. And I mean, I highly suggest that kind of stuff. Now, you could do things like, I'm playing the PlayStation 4 version of this game, so you could probably do things like, you know, duplicate and copy save files onto USBs and things like that to keep yourself safe if you have to kind of do a reset. But frankly, this speedrun is not as challenging as it seems. Getting through the game with a little bit of experience, getting through the game without dying is not hard. We obviously did that in our playthrough. And getting through the game in 2.5 hours is also not hard. The hard part is that there's no counter that will let you know how many orbs you have collected. That's the real kind of question mark when you do this. Is you kind of finish the game with your fingers crossed, hoping you have enough orbs. I think we got 30 more than we needed, though. So, the game has plenty of stuff. The issue with SteamWorld Dig 2, by the way, is which again we will be playing. The issue with SteamWorld Dig 2 is that it has certain things on the map that count towards map completion, and you have to have 100% map completion on every map when you finish the game. I don't remember why I ran back here. But that's the thing to note, right? Is that, I mean, or at least it's a very high bar. Now you can go up here and get this area here right away, and it, you know, it gets you orbs early, and it saves you getting it when you have to backtrack. Although you do have to backtrack to this area anyway, because this is the first cave with a generator in it. So you can always pick it up on your way back through, but it doesn't hurt to do it here. Now, one of the things you want to keep in mind is that resource growth in this game is pretty crazy, like endgame oriented. So, one of the things to keep in mind is that it's going to be far more important to collect resources in Vectron than it is in Archaea or Old World. Because, you know, the highest things you can get in this area are like 25. But diamonds in Vectron are worth 500. Which is, I mean, it's ridiculous. It's a ridiculous disparity. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna try to clip this down to I mean, I think 20 minutes will be fine, and that should get us through this in about 7 videos. One of the other things you're gonna see is horrific abuse of teleporters, because we don't have to worry about buying everything. So once I can buy teleporters, it's invaluable how much time you can save not climbing back up. We also are going to be focusing a bit on, obviously getting through the dirt faster. It's a smarter move. Most of what we do in this game is getting through dirt. And we'll also focus on deep vertical shafts, because it's easier to climb back up them. These are some questionable decisions I'm making. I mean, this jump is still really tricky for me, but I do believe that it's very important to get this before you have to backtrack for it. Because with one very hard, kind of very sensitive jump, and then one jump that's not so hard, you clear this cave out and you never have to worry about it again. And that's pretty huge. I mean, in my opinion, it's pretty huge. You are allowed to have your own opinions about what is important and what is not. Yeah, that jump there is actually the second jump in this room is freer than it looks. So really, in my opinion, in the SteamWorld Dig games, the importance is first on getting resources out kind of as quickly and efficiently as possible. As far as, you know, busting through the terrain. So mining. It's a game about mining and robot capitalism. But second to that is storage space. Like right now, we only have 3 spots in our sack, and it's hurting us. Like, we're gonna go back up, and when we come down, we're gonna fill the sack up again instantly. Which is rough. That's rough. So you can see, though, as I was talking about kind of concentrating on our downward movement. Like, this makes sense now, because now we have access to a teleporter. And we can just go up and collect those minerals we left behind. So there's our new pouch. And like I said, we filled it right away. And there we go, better pickaxe. The pickaxe is never going to really make sense as your kind of primary enemy killer, right? I know that there's a damaging pickaxe item and things like that, but once you get Rocket Punch, pickaxe is trivialized, completely trivialized. And that moment right there might be the most dangerous moment in the game for kind of your opportunity to die. Because at some point it becomes very, you know, especially when you start getting towards things like damage reduction. If you're collecting as many resources as you can and as much money as you can, and not doing anything stupid like early generator destruction with dynamite jumps, then by the time you get to the boss of this game, dying is almost impossible. It's gotta be a heck of a thing to try to do in a speed run where you're not really worried about your equipment. You know, that like you're trying to minimize equipment. That's gotta be very weird to have to deal with like the RNG of random generators versus Vectron. Because Vectron is the name of the last, it's the name of the last world or the last map in this game, but it's also the name of the evil electrified like AI. We will find out a lot more about Vectron kind of as an entity, or at least we'll get a better sense of Vectron as an entity when we deal with the second game. Because the narrative structure of the second game is far deeper. I think I said this in the actual playthrough, but the second game does everything you want a sequel to a game to do. It expands on the lore. It makes the movement and all the dynamics. It makes them kind of deeper and more interesting and more engaging. It feels like a different game, but it feels like a game that is directly descended from the previous game. Somebody took a thing and tried to make it bigger and better, and succeeded. Yeah, we will also buy health a lot because obviously we cannot die. One death resets this entire run. Again, if you can make it through these earlier areas where you're killing these metal turtles, I guess they're turtles. If you get through the area where you're killing them, you're probably in good shape. Yeah, and I saw the cave over there. It was just like, yeah. Missing caves is not an uncommon thing for me. I always miss the Steam Punch cave. Every playthrough of this game, I miss the Steam Punch cave. I somehow get past it, and then realize, like, I got well into Vectron before I even realized it was a thing. And it's your most important, enemy damager in this game. Nothing comes close to that. Using dynamite, using, your ability to punch things. None of those are a substitute for your ability to, using your drill. None of those come close to your ability to punch things, as far as damaging enemies. Especially when you start dealing with those laser things on the walls of Vectron. Those things are horrible. But you can, with a fully upgraded punch, you just punch them once and they die. That's so enormous. Or those guys who run at you and explode. You can hit them from across the room with your Steam Punch. But, a pickaxe, they get right up in your face. So now we can finally buy teleporters. And we will. Teleporters and health. Bigger pouches. These are our recipes for success. Take one bigger pouch, one teleporter, one health upgrade. And go dig in the dirt, robot. Steambot. Caves like this are such a big deal. I mean, it's free money. I thought long and hard about what I did there after I did it. Was not really happy with myself for taking that chance. Alright, so the way that this is going to work is I've cut this off right after we finish this cave. It's just a treasure cave. And so we'll finish this cave, and then when we come back... No, there's no... Well, maybe there is a way that we finish it. This is a pretty quick cave. So we finish this cave, and then when we come back, we will pick up where we left off. Which is, you know, with this cave finished. So that's all we needed. So when we come back, more speedrunning SteamWorld Dig. Bye, everybody.